Okay guys, due to a production problem, when we were working with some videos, we had lost one of the videos that I did on prepping your plastics. Basically just take 400 grit sandpaper and go all over the area that you're going to paint. Basically your plastic might have a sheen to it, and you want to remove any shiny parts on it. That way you know that it's your primer is going to adhere well to it, and you get a nice paint job on it. But I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. If you have any questions, you can certainly ask me. Today I'm looking at mounting the 120 millimeter fans in the top. I recommend that even if you have like a hole saw, you know, if you're going to cut these with a Dremel, a drill, whatever it is, that you would get these templates from Bill Owen over at Mnpctech. You can get them for different size fans. This is one for a dual fan radiator, which I'm going to use, not that I'm putting a radiator in, but just simply because they line up perfectly, and I am going to do a dual fan. And I'm just going to cut these out with a jigsaw. Okay, I picked up this blade. It's not going to pick it up very well. This is actually a ceramic blade. I was looking for the finest tooth metal ones I could get, and these are actually like a stone. They're not even teeth on it. They're like a graphite stone, and they're kind of slow cutting, but they do a really smooth edge, and they're pretty easy to cut metal with. You just have to take your time, but the saw won't jump around as much as if you used a regular metal blade like a 32 tooth. This blade was, I think, just about $5, $4.99, something like that. You can get the big hole saws to cut these with, but they're about $50 just for the saw, and unless it's something you're going to do a lot of cases, a lot of customizing, you're going to cut a lot of holes, it's hardly worth it to buy one for just a couple holes. And besides, you're going to need the jigsaw to do your side case cover anyway, so you're kind of killing two birds with one stone. Anyway, I'm just kind of figuring out where I'm going to lay this out. And when you're doing a top cover one like this, it's a good idea, even if you're planning on popping the rivets out and taking it apart for painting, to cut it while it's still attached. That way it has some stability, because it's going to have all the bracing and stuff on the inside holding it in place. It'll give you something more to hold on to when you're cutting, so you don't have just the plate itself moving around. And if you do try to hold it down or push down on it when you're cutting, you have a chance of bending out your side rails and your mounting rails, just because of the pressure you'll be putting on it. So we're just going to mark this one out and line up our holes, and then I'm going to get ready to cut this. I will put a link in the description on the video for the tutorial page at Mnpctech's website, so that you can go and find these templates and print them out. But they're sure helpful, and even if you did have the hole saw, the nice thing is that they have the markings for the mounting holes also to drill out. So even if you have the 4-inch or 4.5-inch, whatever that is, hole saw, you would still need to line up your fan holes perfectly, and this kind of kills two birds with one stone. So anyway, I'm going to mark this out and get ready to cut. Okay, we have it all mounted up there and lined up, measured. First thing I'm going to do is drill a hole in each one. We need to make a hole big enough to get the jigsaw blade in to start our cut. So we're just going to make a hole somewhere inside the circle, closer towards the edge, so that we can just shoot out with the jigsaw and make that big round circle. Okay, we have our pilot holes started. As you can see, you want them to be just big enough that you can get your jigsaw blade in there so you can start cutting with it. But I'm going to take this in the other room and grab my jigsaw and start cutting them holes out. Okay, we have it all drilled out, cut out for our fan openings. Now if you're going to do anything on the bottom, like add fans on the bottom, you want to do the same thing. keep your plate attached until after you've done your cutting, just to give it some more stability. Then you can go through this with a file or sandpaper or whatever you want to smooth out the holes, and then we'll sand the covers down and get them ready for paint. Okay, we just flipped the case over and measured and laid out our template for the bottom, so it's going to match the top one. And we're just going to do the same procedure, drill a hole and do our cutting on it. Okay, I moved outside to do the cutting. Hopefully the wind isn't too distracting. Got all our holes cut. Now I'm going to switch to 1/8 inch drill bit and start drilling out our rivets. Well, here's all our different pieces laid out. We got everything disassembled. I just took my hand grinder and hit any burrs that were around the holes we cut, or around the holes we drilled for the mounts. But the whole chassis is tore down. We're ready to start sanding these and getting some primer on them. Okay, we're on to getting the side panel ready to cut. As you can see from all the different lines, I've tried a couple of different sizes to kind of get an idea of what might look good and address a few problems like this recessed handle. I was going to cut it outside of the handle, but with the mounts on the back there really isn't enough room to overlap the window to attach it, so we have to go inside of it, and we had to clear the vents, so we had to kind of find a happy medium there and figure out how tall we wanted it and how wide we wanted to show as much area inside there as we can. I'm going to show you a little tip that I use for doing the corners on these. The rounded corners are so much easier to cut than trying to do squares. You certainly could do a square with your jigsaw, but it's easier if you want to do it with one cut to just round the corners. And you can use basically anything round, cup or can of pop or something, anything that's got about the right arc that you want. I just line it up to the two lines, kind of get it where I want it, and then just take the pen and then just follow that curve around. Kind of hard to do that one-handed, but you kind of get the gist of it. That'll give us the same arc on all four corners, and I'll just go around and do that, and then we'll get ready to start cutting this.